So guys, our today's topic is DNS. So as you know, the DNS is something very crucial in the internet. So why? Because it first of all, it is a domain name system and it helps us to identify the IP of any human readable system. Why the domain came in the internet, which is because the IPs are very hard to remember. Okay, so with the domain name, the domain name is very human readable and it's understandable. So we can easily know, okay, google.com. It's a rememberable name compared to like 123 dot something like that. So it would be very hard to know. And now we are moving to IPv6. It will be getting more harder because the range is the length is very big. So it would be a problem. Okay. So now first of all we will understand like how the browser behave and how you will get the IP of any human readable system, human readable domain or any domain name. Okay. So first of all, let's suppose this is a system, this is a browser. Okay. So if let's suppose if you visit google.com, okay. So what the what this will do, the browser will do, it will check in its cache, DNS cache, key, does it have the IP or not of the google.com. If it does not, it will send the request to the kernel, OS, your system. Okay. The system DNS cache again will check that does that have the IP of google.com or not. If yes, it will be sent back to the browser. If not, it will send the query to DNS resolver. Okay. So what the DNS resolver is do? DNS resolver could be anything. It could be your router. It could be Google DNS service, which is running on 8.8.8.8 or 8. This one is the primary and this one is the secondary DNS IP to resolve any domain. Or it could be from Cloudflare, which is running on 1.1.1.1. Okay. So these are the popular ones, and it could be from router, and how the router will get, it gets from the ISP. Okay. So these are the popular domain name resolvers are there. Okay. Now your query now goes to DNS resolver. Now how the DNS resolver will know the IP is what it will do. So let's suppose we have a domain name google.com. Okay. So my name is google.com. And generally domains names are written in a fully qualified domain name. Okay.
So I have one question.
What's that?
So question is related to that when request is going to DNS resolver and there are different resolver. Like so who is deciding like to which resolver is request should go?
Okay, yeah, that's a very good question. So first of all, we understand how the system will know whom to send the DNS query. So what the so when you connect to, first of all, it's when it's an automated process. When you connect to any internet via the router or via the network, at the time when your router assign the IP to your system, it sends other stuff also, like what is the DNS resolver IP. So it generally reside at 192.168.0.1 or something like that. Okay. Yeah, it is the router who tells your system this is the IP of the DNS resolver.
So this means like ISP is deciding that.
Yeah. In this case, ISP will decide, and this will, in this case, this is the router DNS resolver, and router will send to the ISP. Okay. But if you want to configure it manually, you can configure in the system internet setting, and you can configure your own DNS servers also, like 8.8.8, which is a Google from the Google, 1.1.1. Which can be from Google. If the DNS resolver IP is wrong in your system, you cannot access the website, even you have the access to the internet. Okay, so that is a very crucial part also. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay. So now we'll understand. So now we have the DNS resolver IP. Now we will move forward. So I am visiting google.com. So the domain names always be ends with the dot because it's a fully qualified domain. Okay. Now how the DNS resolver knows ki from where I will get the address of google.com. Obviously it needs to know because everything in the internet works on the IP only. Okay. So it all needs to know where to go. So now there are certain registries are there. Okay. So certain registry servers are there. One is root servers. Okay. So root servers hold the information of dot. Okay. Dot means first of all DNS server will go to the root server. It will ask ki where is the .com. Okay. Now it sends a response. The .com is present at .com TLD server. Okay. Now there are lots of TLD servers. Okay. What are the TLD means? Top level domains. Top level domains are like .com, .uk, .in or .co or anything. Whatever will be, these are the top level domains. So now there is a .com registry is there. So these are the TLD servers. Okay. If you visit google.in, then root server will send go to the .en TLD servers. Okay. So there would be lots of TLD servers for .in as well. Okay. Now DNS resolver will send second queries to .com or .en, whichever the root domain you are TLD domain you are visiting. It sends the second query to it and it will ask where is the google.com this time. Okay. Now it will tell the authoritative server name, like google.com information can be find at this particular IP, and that in those servers are called authoritative servers. Okay. Authoritative servers are generally the ones from where you purchase the domain names. Okay, like if you purchase from the GoDaddy, then your default authoritative server would be GoDaddy, like that. If you move this to Route 53 or Cloudflare, then those will be your authoritative servers. Okay. Now your third request will go to this server, and this server, if this server has the google.in information, it will send the details, IP details to this, and this will get back to your system like that. Okay. Now let's suppose generally now there are 13 root servers are there, 13 root server details are there. Generally those are start at a.root-servers.net to b.root-servers.net till these are 13. So it would be around m. Okay. So these are till m.root-servers.net, like that. Okay. So there are 13 total root servers and they have certain IPs, fixed IPs. Okay. And so all the so this is all about how the IP get resolved. It is clear till now? Any question? Okay. Now there is a problem which comes sometime. So let's suppose google.com is currently running on 1.2.3.4. Okay. Now Google changes its IP. Okay. Google changed IP to 2.3.4.5. I'm just assuming they are just changing. Okay. It could be any IP. Now how this propagation will happen and how the system will know and where the problems might arise, we will covering this now. Okay. So now first of all your system ask google.com about this. So when the system get the answer from authoritative server, the authoritative server send some TTL ki this answer is valid for 30 minutes or whatever the TTL was defined in the authoritative server, it will send that also. Okay. So most of the routers or DNS resolver works based on the TTL only. So as soon as the TTL expires, they delete the entry from their system. Okay. And sometimes some routers do not obey, so they do not obey the TTL, but they cache, but it takes a longer time. So what the Google will do, they will run their system here and here as well, both side. First of all, they will change the like they will add additional based on the new TTL, and they remove the DNS record of this IP. They keep the server running, but they're just removing the DNS. Okay. Now they will wait for the first of all the TTL expires. Okay. Now they will monitor the uses of this. Ki how many requests are still coming on the old server. Once it is reaches a point where they can terminate, like let's suppose Google wants, like as soon as I have reaches 99% of the traffic to the new IP, I can avoid 1%. So at that time they can remove this. But if Google wants that 100% user should be served, so they have to keep it until it is 0. Okay. So like that they can solve the issue. And there are lots of DNS resolvers which do not obey the cache. And this happens a lot of in the industry, because DNS cache happens at a multiple places: browser, OS, then router level, then ISP level, then your TLDs, authoritative servers, like that. So there are lots of places where it can be cached. Okay. So do you have any question? Okay. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you.